you see, this particular history that Odùduwà came from Mecca, is the son of Lamurudu, he left Mecca, came to Ife, he met some people there and all of that, is one history that I have never, not even for once, believed in my life. And I can never believe that this particular one. So recently, Akeji Sola Victor posted a video talking about the Yoruba history, and he narrated this particular one. Then I commented and I said, I do not even believe this history 1%. Then he asked me why, and that is why I'm making this particular video. Now let's look at these few histories. But before then, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I feel like, oh, why do we have 2 or 3 different histories? Like one group of people, one ethnic group having multiple histories. Like why? Sometimes I just wonder, like, oh, can't we just have just one history, and all of that. But then I also feel that maybe there were no proper means of documentation, so they were unable to document most of these histories, and they were passed down orally. Or maybe when they were trying to pass down these histories, maybe some people did not hear very well or something like that. But I think the major issue, I don't know, but I think the major issue is because there were no means of proper documentation. So now I'll tell you 3 different histories that I know. Of course, we're not here when, although we learned, we heard from people, we read books and all of that. So I'm going to tell you 3 different, and I will tell you the particular one that I believe so much. Now, history number 1. There was we heard that these histories were itan atenudeti, that is itan from mouth to ear, which means they were passed down orally. History number 1 tells us that Odùduwà left Mecca, came to Ile-Ife. So he left Mecca because there was a religious conflict. So he came with some people to Ile-Ife. That when they got to Ile-Ife, they met some people there already. Some people living there already. So they met them there, and those people welcomed them. So Odùduwà fought for those people. Odùduwà conquered the Ugbo people for them, and that was why they made him the leader. They made him their leader. So that was how Odùduwà became our forefather. But this particular history, looking at it, so I was thinking that these Ugbo people, are they not the same Ugbo people in the history of Moremi? Or maybe they are another Ugbo. So it looks like this history is not full enough, or this history is not authentic enough. Because how do you tell me that my forefather is from another land, like from somewhere else? Somehow I do not believe this history at all. Now let's look at history number 2. History number 2 is very close to Yoruba belief and tradition. History number 2 tells us that in the very beginning, when Olodumare created the heaven and the earth, so Olodumare sent àwọn irúnmọlẹ̀ mọ́kànlénírínwó 401 irúnmọlẹ̀ or òrìṣà, one of whom is Obatala. Olodumare told Obatala to go and create land because everywhere was filled with water. So Olodumare gave Orishanla, also known as Obatala, a hen and sand. Then Olodumare instructed him to pour the sand on the surface of water and place the hen on the sand, on the sand, and allow the hen to spread the sand. However, Obatala didn't get to where he was going because he got drunk from palm wine on his way and slept off. Then Olodumare sent Odùduwà to come and carry out the assignment, and Odùduwà successfully carried out the assignment, thereby creating the first land on earth at Ile-Ife. This took place at Ile-Ife, known as the source of the Yoruba people today. Now, Don't forget that in this history, we learned that Olodumare sent 401 Irumoles, 401 Orisha to the earth, giving each and every one of them an assignment to carry out so that the world could be at peace. So Yoruba believe that the world began at Ile-Ife, and from there people spread and expanded across the entire earth. For me, this particular history looks so authentic for me. Now, before I tell you the reasons, my own reasons for believing this particular story, this particular history, let's also look at history number 3. History number 3 tells us that Yoruba came from somewhere around Oduoya and then Benue, because the language and the culture, and traditions of the Yoruba people look similar to those of Oduoya and Benue. So I do not believe this history either. Now let me tell you why I so much believe the second history, the one that looks like the story of creation, just like the story of creation. Number one, looking at that history, it looks kind of authentic for me. Also, the consistency in that particular history shows that it was not made up. The flow, how the flow in that history shows that, oh, this was not made up. And if you compare that particular history to other Yoruba histories, trying to bring them together, you will see that one looks more accurate. Another thing is that comparing that particular history with other Yoruba histories that I know, it makes a lot of sense, a whole lot of sense. Also, sometimes ago, I read a book about the Yoruba culture sometimes ago, and in that book, the person was explaining the Odu in Odùduwà, linking it to Odu-Ifa. And the book also explained that there's one particular Odu-Ifa, I think, or Yekumeji, if I can still remember very well, that this Odu-Ifa clearly explains that Odùduwà came from Ode-Orun to Ile-Aye, came from heaven to earth, just like other Irumole, just like other Orisha. So comparing this particular history with other histories, other Yoruba histories, see that it makes a lot of sense. It looks so authentic. So for me, I believe the second history. So have you heard about these histories before? Which one do you believe, or what do you think about these histories? Let us know. And like I said in one of my videos, I said one of the things I really want to achieve this year is to encourage people to learn their own history, to know about their own history, go and ask questions. Knowing the world history is important, is good, but knowing your own history is important, or should I say is the importantest if that's correct, because that is who you are. That is who you are. Oda, so I'll be here again some other time to tell you another beautiful Yoruba history. And don't forget, go and learn about your own history, go and ask questions, know more about your own history. That is who you are. And until I come your way again, I remain Adumola Abosede, and I am Yoruba, unapologetically Yoruba, authentically Yoruba, originally Yoruba, naturally Yoruba, everything Yoruba, beautifully so. And until I come your way again, I wish you goodness every time. Bye.